What's up, Jags? My name's Gavin Wood,
And my name is Connor Watson.
and welcome to Pod Talk.
Pod's Not Luck. Yeah.
Yay! Episode 1. We'll get it down eventually.
hmm
So,
Well,
Connor, why don't you explain to us what is our topic for the day?
well, I'm a big fan of the holidays, and one of the holidays that is coming up is Christmas and Christmas traditions, just really in general. So I'm gonna get us started off with kind of just discussing like some of like the traditions that I have inside of my household first. What we do is, of course, we decorate the tree, we hang up the stockings, but we
Mm-hmm.
have something called a snow village, where we basically just decorate our house with these little ceramic and glass houses that are all over the place, and they're honestly very eccentric. And then
Mm.
another tradition that we have is it's basically a party game where you take little trinkets and knickknacks and you put it into a ball of saran wrap, and then you just like roll the dice, and we do that, and it's just kind of just like our family is very competitive, and we are big during Thanksgiving as well with the Egg Bowl here in Mississippi. Ole Miss versus Mississippi. We are a house divided. But yeah, Gavin, I'll hand the mic over to you.
We don't have any special traditions. I think the most we do is like we set up our Christmas decorations, the tree.
Mm-hmm.
We have I
Uh-huh.
have some personal things that I've had for like over a decade since I was like
Yeah.
itty bitty, and I think the best thing we do is just creating like the best gingerbread house. That's the one thing
Yeah.
that I feel we do different is me, my father, and my little sister all kind of compete every year to try to see who has the best gingerbread house. Obviously, I'm the champion every year. Last 2 years I'm running.
Mhm.
And
Speaking
I
of
will
ginger,
say,
oh,
oh, my fault.
go ahead, go ahead.
And I will say, if there is one person who may not be a family member, but is part of our Christmas every year, it is who's that one singer of the
Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey. That woman every year, November to January, is constantly in my ears. It doesn't matter if it's TikTok or it's my dad or it's my little sister. She's always there.
Speaking of TikTok, kind of harping back on like Christmas traditions. Do you remember when like the beige moms were really popular? I remember
I
seeing
do
this
not.
one TikTok of this mom basically painting her child's Christmas tree to be these dull, unsaturated colors. And everybody started like reprimanding her for like painting her Christmas tree. Like not like a Christmas tree, it was like a toy, like little Tice Christmas tree. And
Uh-huh.
she eventually had to paint it back because of all like the backlash that she was getting, which I honestly find hilarious. But yeah.
Yeah, man, a mother did that to a child? That's crazy. Like,
Yes. And speaking of backlash, I I feel like Mariah Carey like resurfaces a bit too early sometimes. Like, have you ever heard of the phrase Christmas in July? I feel like that's what happens a lot with Mariah Carey's music. It's like it slightly resurfaces in July and then it dies back down. And that's what I see like happening a lot with like a lot of Christmas music. Is the phrase Christmas in July is causing a lot of like Christmas music to surface early. And then when it gets time to Christmas, it just is dulled out. And that's
mm,
why my mom doesn't allow me to listen to like the Mariah Carey song until it hits December. I can listen to
really?
any other yeah, I can listen to any other Christmas song under the sun as long as it's not that song.
Mm.
Cuz my mom is a bit strict on that. But
That's insane. Yeah, I mean, Mariah Carey haunts my dreams, uh, half of the year, just off that one song. And I like how TikTok is like poking fun at it. Like you said, Christmas in July. You'll see like posts like talking about like seeing her music in like October during Spooky Month, which we just had,
mhm,
which I thoroughly enjoyed, I will say.
mhm. Speaking of like TikTok, there was this thing called candy salad where people would just trauma dump the everlasting like um heck out of like anything that has happened to them. And I'm feeling that's going to be resurfacing with like gingerbread houses and like stuff that is like kind of like Christmas related due to the fact that it's lighthearted, like like candy's lighthearted, but they managed to mix in something that is so sinister with it, which is honestly something I honestly kind of like find hilarious. But off topic, I feel like that's going to resurface again is the candy salad, and I feel like it is resurfacing.
Yeah, I know one of our people in GNN said something about a candy salad without like the trauma part, just the candy part.
Which I personally find is very dull. But anyway,
No, I
uh,
think I think I just like the candy. I don't need to hear the drama.
but and speaking of holidays and Christmas, um,
Can I just say,
Christmas is
okay, I'm gonna butt in
oh,
here. I'm so sorry, but
oh, it's
can I just
fine.
say, why do we just skip over Thanksgiving?
We do.
For Thanksgiving is just like forgotten after.
The only notable thing about Thanksgiving is the fact that it's discussing politics the entire time in the Macy's Day Parade. We can move past it.
That's
There is not
crazy.
a singular song. There's not a singular song unless you're counting Glee with Turkey Lurkey Time. That's it. That's it so far.
No one wants
Like,
to like gather and like have some good turkey, although ham is better. Um,
no, not at all. Turkey is superior in every single way. I don't eat
ugh.
ham because of what I was taught inside of Mr. Hackman's class when we went over a certain topic over in Unit 1 with flatworms. Wait, no, it was roundworms. And I will never look at pork the same way. Never look at pork the same way.
Look, Mr. Hackman. I don't remember half the stuff from the class because honestly, some of it was kind of crazy. The tapeworm. Oh my gosh, the tapeworm video. If
Mhm.
you know, you know.
I I I remember a lot of the stuff because I have to do a lot of the sorting for his classroom. I'm a lab assistant.
Oh,
So but oh my god, speaking of Christmas traditions, inside of the school itself, we have Mr. Cooper with his chain that he will randomly start to put up
can we just
around
say
Christmas time.
that is the most
Hmm.
iconic thing that I've noticed every year. Like,
Hmm.
okay, the only thing that I
And
would
the
say
fact that
would top that in Mr. Cooper's room is probably the special effects makeup and Halloween season. But I think the
yeah,
chain is super iconic in a room, and I'm glad it's a
mhm,
tradition.
yeah,
Although I wish he
and
was more consistent.
yeah, I can definitely say like the fact that there's a whole entire project dedicated to that chain inside of his room is a bit crazy to me. And like that's like kind of going on like Christmas traditions and how like it's very much just a big part of culture nowadays. Like
Mhm.
you're gonna hear so many Christmas songs on the radio the second that it hits November 1st, 12:01 a.m. Christmas. There is
There's just
just
one thing. Okay, sorry. It's not a
probably
musical.
shouldn't sing that even more. That's gonna get copyrighted. But
But yeah, Christmas traditions,
mhm,
eh, they are just such a, well, tradition in Christmas. And
mhm,
I think it's very heavily baked into just um, our history.
mhm,
And like the fact that we keep up traditions in general is
mhm,
such a neat thing I find. And Christmas traditions, especially with like family and
mhm,
um, events and these cool competitions that people hold. It's just a way that like people learn to gather around each other and come together
mhm,
as like a society, which I find pretty cool.
mhm. Speaking of society and traditions, do you know where Christmas originated from?
Something about pagan, something about da 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 da. You know, I'm not the biggest
Mhm.
history buff,
It
but would you
it
please
is
enlighten me?
it is from a pagan religion, but it is called the Yuletide, and like you know like the Yuletide log
I do not.
that like but basically the Yuletide was basically this festival that happened during the winter solstice. And the final day was the winter solstice, and that was the end of winter. But I personally, and that was just like a quick spill, but traditions like presents and traveling. Do you prefer traveling or do you prefer presents?
Well, I never really traveled for my Christmas, so I guess I gotta say presents.
Mm. I was originally going to be going on a cruise this year for Christmas, but me and my mom opted
Okay.
out
Oh my gosh. How could you?
because I have a irrational fear of cruises, and my mom did not want to be over a open body of water during Christmas because she gets seasick. But
That doesn't sound like a
I
fun
feel
time.
like especially with like a family that's like kind of like divided on like issues already at hand. It gets difficult to make compromises, but you just learn just to nod your head and keep on going, which I feel like is a big struggle that a lot of people have during Christmas because a lot of things are slowing down. You don't have things growing. You don't like sales are decreasing. My father works in sales, and December is one of his lowest months
Hmm.
because of the fact that people already have stuff to buy. He works in RV sales, and that causes a lot of trouble during winter months. But
Mm, yeah.
like
People can
like
get like, winter is regarded as like a seasonal depression, as a lot of people call
mhm,
it. And
like Christmas Carol.
yeah, exactly. It's seen as a season at which a lot of things are, like you said, slowing down. Nature is falling off and doesn't really
I
come
wish it
back until the
did.
spring. What?
I wish it did. Here in the South, it is burning up more than
Okay,
is.
traditionally, everywhere else in the U.S., except maybe
Well,
Texas.
well, Mother Nature said in like 2020, no, you will be blue. And in February, boom, the cold snap hit and everything was ice. Oh my God, I wish that was during Christmas time. I've never seen a white Christmas before,
I
and I
know
want to see
that
a
was
white Christmas.
that was crazy when we got like that snowstorm. Was it 2020? I think it was 2020.
It was 2021 because Biden just got elected for his
Mhm.
first and only term. And I kept on like all of a sudden I wake up the next day and I'm just like looking outside. I'm like, why can't I was like, wait, hey mama, why don't you have the door open? She's like, what do you mean the door is open? I was like, did it snow? She's like, no, it iced. And I decided to walk up my street and go get my friends. And when I was going to go get my friends, I decided to bring along a plastic knife.
Oh gosh.
Luckily, I had like I didn't choose to bring it along. It was just in my pocket. But I was like, oh shoot, it's ice, and my friend lives on a hill. How do I get to their door? And I thought to myself, I can use the knife to make an indent in the ice, stick my hand through it, and then have steps.
What kind of
So I did
ice
that
climber
all,
thing is this?
yeah, I did that all at the side. And then I realized I did it on the wrong side because I had to walk across like the front of their garage.
Mhm.
So I had to walk across the front of the garage, praying not to slip. And then I eventually got to their door and I was like, hey, do you want to just go like around? I'm like, yeah, sure. So I got them and they're like, and they were like, wait, how do we get down? I was like, well, we just slide on down. So I slid on down and then they slid on down. But that's crazy how quickly weather can change.
It
And that's
is.
kind of the same with Christmas. Like, at least in Mississippi, at least, one day it's 85 degrees and then the next day it's 40. That's
Yeah.
how I, per- I personally don't enjoy that because then you get like your sinuses and all your nasal cavities just get congested and you cannot breathe for anything.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Yeah, that is that is definitely a minus in Christmas.
Hmm.
And especially Mississippi. I mean, Mississippi weather is just all over the place. Let's be honest here. Like you said,
Yeah.
85 to 40 to like below freezing to okay, now it's 105 in December. Like, what is this? But I
And
will say my favorite.
and somehow things still find to grow. Still find things that grow. It's crazy.
No weeds in my
May
yard.
continue.
Continue continue to grow. But anyways, as I was saying, my favorite tradition, especially in school, is the 2 weeks we get off of just pure like hey, it's pure heaven. The pure heavenly gaze of just having 2 weeks of
Well,
Christmas.
unless one of your teachers are those types of people where like, we need to keep up, so I'm gonna sign you
I'm not gonna
some work over the break.
I am
You
not
think I'm
gonna
gonna be
do that.
sitting there working while I'm over here trying to eat, like over here trying to eat like a turkey with some cranberry sauce? No, I'm I'm going to set that in
Exactly.
my backpack, and the day before I have to go back to school, I'm gonna do it all. Let's
Exactly.
be real.
Let's be
And
real.
then If not, I'm gonna do it the class before. Like, if, for example, if I have that teacher sixth block, I'm doing it all fifth block.
I am not
All
doing
fifth
any
block.
work over the Christmas break.
If I get that bored, I might as well just go outside and then just wait for lightning to strike me because I'm not gonna be doing any type of work.
That is so true. Insanely so true. But do you have any plans for your Christmas break? I know you
Yes.
said you canceled the cruise, but do you have
hmm
anything?
Um, we're going to be cooking because my mom loves to cook and I like to cook too. I cook more than my mom because she doesn't like to cook during any other month except for November, December, January, and February because she says it's too hot, which I agree. But I cook during every single other month, including those months that are listed. But we're gonna cook, and then the 22nd is the day that we're going to be having our like family Christmas because they leave. My family leaves on the 23rd to go to the cruise.
Right.
So they're gonna drive down from wherever they are, stop by our house, then they're gonna drive on down to New Orleans, and we're gonna be following them to New Orleans. And me and my mom are gonna have a day trip, like a day night trip, and in New Orleans, and then we're gonna go to Vicksburg and we're gonna walk along Vicksburg, and then we'll be home the 24th to track Santa, which tracking Santa's the best. But yeah.
Mm. Okay. Well, that's awesome because the reason I asked that is because I usually don't have any plans. I just end up chilling around. And the best thing while I do while chilling around is watch the annual Christmas music movies. Your Elf, your Rudolph, your traditional, funny, usually upbeat
This might
Christmas
find
movies.
this might sound shocking. I have not fully watched like The Grinch or The Elf
What?
and
Huh.
so on, but Black Friday shopping is
He's
what
also
people
just started
consider the
recording.
official start to Christmas. But
Mm.
Christmas starts in July, let's be real. Christmas in July.
Christmas starts in July is the craziest thing I've ever
Australians
heard.
have Australians have summer during Christmas. We can have Christmas in July.
The Australians are across the world. What do you mean?
Well, Australians are crazy and Mississippi people are crazy as well. Speaking of crazy people, we have Florida man still wandering around here, and I hope that he doesn't decide to move to Mississippi. But enough on that.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, that was a big spiral off. I'm talking about Black Friday. From movies to Black Friday. Crazy. What I wanted to get, my original point was what was the most iconic Christmas movie. And it's one I hadn't mentioned yet. And I say it's Home Alone. There's no movie that's more iconic than Home Alone.
Okay, I can debate you on this.
No,
I can. A Christmas movie that is the best Christmas movie is Die Hard.
I've never watched Die Hard. So
You
ha.
you need to. It is a Christmas classic. Does it?
It's just a detective movie with like in a Christmas setting. What do you mean? It's just a
Does,
cop movie in a
does it correlate at all with Christmas entirely? No. But is it a Christmas classic? Heck yeah.
bro.
America.
America.
But yeah.
I will always say that Home Alone is the greatest Christmas film to ever come out. But that is
Home
just
Alone.
me.
If it wasn't set during Christmas time, it would be a horror movie, let's be real. The fact
Okay,
that
yeah, I can agree with you on that.
because the furnace scene in Home Alone, where the robber breaks into the house and then it's the furnace just sitting there and then it starts to like growl and like have like all like the flames and everything. That creeped me out the first time that I watched it because I was not gonna be putting up with that. If I broke into somebody's house and then there was a furnace sitting down there, I'd say nope, nope, nada.
Nada. Nope. I agree with you. I completely agree. Okay, we've covered the music, we've covered the traditional traditions, and we've covered what else did we cover? We cover the movies and some personal stories. What's next on our Christmas themed episode here on the
Um, Religion? I don't know. I'm not
Religion.
religious. I'm not
Okay, well, I
religious.
am, and I can speak on it, I guess. If since most Mississippians are religious in some kind of way, um, Christmas is traditionally celebrated by Christian households. So,
Unless you're
Christmas
Jehovah's
Christian.
Witness.
You're not gonna get on all in thingamajigs of it, but it is traditionally celebrated as a Christian holiday, and it's just a time where you celebrate um, Jesus in this case and God, and you celebrate. It's the act of giving and just giving, being selfless and
Mhm.
coming together as a family, as a household, and celebrating your traditional values and what it means to serve God. And so, yeah, God's a big part of, Christian and Christmas holidays, but, this isn't a religious podcast, so I'm not going to get in all the way into the details.
Mhm.
But,
But you want to know what is a religion?
mm,
Football.
football, yeah, okay. That football season is ending, though, so it's kind of sad.
Thank God. I'm I'm tired of football, just in general.
Hey, you got basketball. Basketball's coming. Hey, where's my basketball fans at? That's my sport.
Cricket. Cricket.
Cricket, is that what you said?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. All right, but I think we've covered everything. We've got the traditional values. We've talked about the music. We've talked about the movies. We've talked about personal experiences. We've talked about everything and anything in between that we've could about Christmas. Um,
Hmm.
Anything you would like to add before we end this episode 1, Christmas themed special of our podcast?
Yes. Y'all hear those sleigh bells ringing. Ding a ding a ling do.
Okay, just no,
Thank
just
you.
we're ending it off here. Goodbye. Have an excellent
Goodbye.
evening, and we'll see you next time.